Good morning. It's been a little while since I've been on video here. Yes, there's a project going on, but I don't know if I'm going to really record it. I've been very, very busy and spending a lot of time on the internet looking things up and trying to get the cheapest prices on things. I just don't have the money to deal with certain things right now. But what I am doing, thanks to one of my viewers, I have so many wonderful people that watch my videos, but one of the fellows suggested, why don't you make a little drawer underneath your workbench to store your small hand tools in? And that got the old gray matter stirring up a little bit here. And so at the cost of a few bucks at Home Depot, probably $5 if even that, I bought one 2x2 and one 2x3 and some of this broken press board, 1/4-inch press board, and I got the dimensions down for the drawer that I'm going to be building. Nothing fancy, but it's going to hold my tools and everything. I got this for 70% off. They don't have like the 50 cent or the dollar wood anymore. If they got a 4x8 sheet of plywood, whatever the plywood costs, they take 70% off of that. And if you get a 2-foot by 4-foot section with the sticker on it, whatever that 2-foot or 4-foot section costs, they take 70% off. In this case, this particle board was a 2-foot by 4-foot piece, and it rang up before the discount at $6 and change. And it came out to be 70% off of that, so it only cost me like $2. So out of it, there's one bad section that had a big crack down the middle. I got a good piece for the bottom of the drawer. I don't need plywood for the bottom. As a matter of fact, they did not have any plywood. They have very little over there in this past year or so. This was the original plywood I was going to use. It's 3/8, but it's bowed, and I don't want a bowed bottom in the drawer. This is what's left over of that press board. You can see the bad section here. It's nothing more than just cardboard. You know, that's all it is, pressed cardboard. But it's good enough for inside. In the shed here, I've been busy working, doing more carpentry work because, you know, with the money and everything else, there isn't anything else I can do. I built like it looks like a little compartment in there, but that's where the drawer is going to be. What I had done is this 2x3 was already here. This is the other piece of that 3/8-inch plywood I told you that was bowed. This piece wasn't too badly bowed, and I put in a 2x3 here and screwed it and glued it down. So my drawer is going to go in here, and it's 19 inches deep, and it's going to go almost to the wall. There'll be a little space behind it, and then I'll have a faceplate going over the top with a handle on it, so the whole drawer could really be pulled right out, and it'll be used to hold all these small tools here that I got, which are just piled up in the corner right now. So after I get this made, and that shouldn't take me too long, I'll show you how I'm going to make it. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. I'm not going to go every detail with the video. You pretty well know how I build things, and I'm using carpenter's wood glue and nails to make the drawer with. Then I also had a piece of 3/4-inch plywood, and I decided I'm going to make another shelf. I got to take everything out of here. I decided I'm going to make another shelf sitting on here, going right across. So that's the reason for the other 2x3, because it's going to be made like this here. So there'll be a shelf here. Originally, this was made this high for that big plastic storage bin, if you've been following my videos. That was originally in here. So I figured if I make a shelf here all the way back, then I can put the receiver up on top here, put this scope that Bill gave me, which it works really well. I just had to clean the switches. Which is another thing, I got to get contact cement, contact cleaner. Now, I'm not bothering with that. Everybody raves about this Craig Deoxide. That's too damn expensive. And you're supposed to have like 4 different kinds. That's like, you're talking $100 for contact cleaner. No way. I'm going to get contact cleaner, the cheapest I can get. I never had all that kind of stuff when I had my workshop. It's just too much money. So, anyways, this is going to be up here, and these toolboxes are really temporarily thrown in here. But that'll enable me to store more stuff up in this area and down here, and get this receiver up here where I want it, and then I got room for like that scope and other things that I can stick in here. So that's another one of the projects that I'm going to be doing today. I'm planning on it if I don't spend all my time talking on the video. I got to put some cleats like I did here. You see how I did this here? So I got to do the same thing here, so I can get that piece of plywood, which I've already got cut out. It's 20 inches by 36 inches, and it's going to drop right into here. So I've got the 2x2s, and that's what's going to be used for the drawer. And the 2x3s, in order to carry them in the minivan, otherwise I'd have to get the truck out of storage, I just cut them over by hand over there at Home Depot. So I bought one 2x2, which is 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, as you know, and one 2x3. So like I say, I spent about $5 today. Anyways, so these will be the for the shelf that I'm going to be building that I just got to showing you. This is the bottom of the drawer, okay? And what's going to happen here is this is 19 3/4 wide by 19 here, so that's why I had to mark it, because it's got to fit in between those two 2x3s. So what I'm going to do here, and I'm not going to bother mitering the corners or anything, it's only a drawer, so I'm going to take and glue and nail this on, and there's going to be 4 of these like this. Okay, I'll be cutting this up into 4 pieces. I got 2 4-foot lengths, so there'll be one here, one here, one here, and one here. Now let me take you in the shed and show you how this is going to be. You're probably saying, well, geez, that's awful low sides for a drawer. It has to be that way, and I'll show you why. And besides, before I show you, the only thing that's going in this drawer is going to be flat tools, screwdrivers, wire cutters, needle nose, all that kind of stuff will be in here. There's nothing that's going to stick up above this. So let me take you inside and I'll show you why I have to use 2x2s, which are 1.5 inches, and the thickness of this, which is 1/4, so that's 1 3/4 inches. So let me show you inside here. Alright, now this is the same material that I'm making the bottom of the drawer with. This is the same 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, so that's 1 3/4 inches now. So as you can see, there's still room here, okay, but I can't use a 2x3, because if I use the 2x3 in here so I can bring it up higher, it would be 1/4 inch too high and it would jam in. You wouldn't be able to use it. So the drawer basically is going to be very shallow. And it's true, I could probably take it on the table saw and use some 2x3s and rip them down. I chose not to because I'm trying to save time here. I'm taking advantage of the beautiful weather that we've got here. So I'm going to try to get everything done as much as I can in the time that I've got it, because once it gets cold here, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So there's a lot of, in other words, there is still, the sides could be a little higher, but then I would have to use something other than 2x2s. But if you go over here, this is about the fattest handle screwdriver I've got for electronics right here. Alright, so it's going to stick up a little above the top, but that's not going to hit this. And it's not going to fall out. So it's only for the hand tools and small things. That's all. And it'll be totally removable, so if anything gets way in the back, I can pull the whole thing right out. Nothing precise, nothing for cabinetry or anything else. It's simply a drawer to store stuff in. So that's how I'm going to do it, so that I don't have all this stuff here laying all over the place. Now there's a soldering gun over there that I doubt... Hang on a minute. Well, you know what? The soldering gun sticks up a little bit. Take and drop this down here. Take the soldering gun and put it here. It'll still plenty of room, so I can store the soldering gun in here too. See, I still got room. So these sides that are going to be out of 1.5 by 1.5 stock, or in other words, also known as 2x2, is just keeping the stuff in the drawer and keeping the drawer in one piece, and it'll be fine. So that's my method of madness. You know, when you can't buy something, you know, you build something while you're waiting to save up the money to get the materials I need for my shop. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you the finished product when I get done with it. Okay, it's all made except for the front, so it can be totally removable. And there's enough play in here because unfortunately when I put this in, it's very hard for me to see down at the end and get an accurate measurement. So I'm in a little bit on this 2x3 at that end, just a hair. So I didn't have too much clearance side to side in the back. I had a lot here, so unless I wanted to make this cockeyed, wedge-shaped, so to speak, that's the only way I could do it. So I've got about a 3/8 here and about a quarter here. So I'm going to put a face on this, a board on the front of this, that's going to come over here. It's going to be no wider than the top of this to this. I was originally just going to put a handle here, but this can get pushed back too far. Not that it would hurt anything. Could probably just put a handle here and just grab it here. Might just do that. Sand it a little bit. But as you can see, it's nothing more than 2x3s, 2x2s, and a smooth bottom. I wanted to use material like this because it's smooth. Unfortunately, it's nailed, so I can't get the nail heads to go. In other words, they stick up a little, no matter how much I pound them. But it's not a big deal. This is not a piece of furniture where you need drawer slides and all that stuff. All it is a workshop. That's all it is. So that's going to conclude this. If I put a front on it, I'll show you that. Then I got to clean out this and start working on this. Okay, it's done. Nothing fancy. But I just put a piece of scrap plywood I had cut off from the piece that I'm going to be using here, and I was going to put a handle on it, but I don't need it. No matter how much I measure, I didn't want a lip up here. So I measured a 1/4 inch and let the thing hang down, but for some reason it didn't come out that way. I got a 1/4 inch lip here and I don't want it. But we'll use that as a handle, so I don't need a handle on this. No point in doing extra work. So it rides good, and I got enough room in the corner of the bench here. There's a little play, but that's fine, so we can start putting stuff in it. As a matter of fact, if I want to, I can put a little back on that so that stuff don't fall out over inside, but I don't think so. I'm not going to jam the drawer full. I'm just going to use it for my hand tools, my electrical stuff. Not necessarily for other storage. Fuses and stuff like that will be kept in that plastic container down there. So the only things going in here is tools. So I think it's pretty good. And I can do all my work right here. Alright, I'm going to start cleaning this off, and I'll come back on the video. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I'll just show you the work after I've done it. Okay, this is how I got it arranged here. And up here I finished the shelving, so now I can operate my receiver. I can operate this scope if I want to, at least wise I can get at it. And temporarily I just stuck 2 of my toolboxes up here. I still have to organize things a little bit, but at least I got a little bit more organization. It's going to take a while. I seem like I'm forever doing woodworking here, but that's okay, because every shelf I make and nook and cranny that I fill and utilize, it helps me a lot. Thanks for watching. You have a good day, and there'll be more videos coming up once I get squared away here.